I'm sure you've heard the advice, follow your heart. But how do we actually do this? Well, in this video, I'm going to be giving you what has worked very well for me and many others in this area. So before we get into the heart, we need to talk about the other tool that most people use primarily to navigate through life, the head. It's clear to me, especially in the West, that many of us have been raised to be left-brained thinkers. And all this really means is we have been raised to be more analytical and heady than intuitive. In fact, so few of us were even taught about the heart, intuition, and similar areas. At least I certainly don't remember being guided or taught any of these ideas. Now, there is nothing wrong with having a developed analytical mind. In fact, I actually believe it can be an incredible tool. I also strongly believe we wouldn't have been given such a powerful tool if we weren't meant to use it in some way. So I don't think it's a question of should or shouldn't we use it. It's more about when should we use it and how was it intended for us to use. Now, it seems very logical that our head should be the one to decide which direction we go in life. And I'm sure the mind will come up with many compelling reasons to why you should listen to it and it should be the one in charge. But if we're aiming to follow our soul, our heart, our inner calling, then the head cannot be what's leading the way. Your head typically operates from the known and is really good at coming up with solutions based on what you already know. But your soul and heart operate from the realm of the unknown. They are connected to source, divinity, the universe. Following your heart will many times require you to take a leap of faith into the unknown. Now, your head, if given the lead, will think of every reason why you shouldn't take that leap of faith. It will find you so many logical justifications. It will find any reason that you shouldn't take that leap that source through you is leading you towards. Now, what I found is the mind is a very powerful tool, but it's meant to serve the heart. I'm sure you've heard the saying, the mind makes a great servant, but a terrible master. So as you walk with full faith down your heart path, as you trust and go, your mind will serve as a very valuable tool as challenges come up along this path. But allowing the mind to choose the path over your heart, allowing it to be the master, is only going to lead to stress, struggle, and resistance in your life. They actually work so beautifully and coherently together, but only if they are being utilized as they were naturally intended. Okay, so now that we are aware of this, how does the heart actually communicate with us? Well, it's actually very simple, mainly through feeling, through energy. Your heart will not speak to you as I am speaking to you now. It will not form words or form symbols. Now, it may resonate with certain things that are said or certain symbols, but it's not forming them itself. Simply put, your heart will typically give you either a yes or a no, a green light or a red light, a feeling of lightness or heaviness. I'm sure at some point in your life you intuitively knew you shouldn't do something, or you shouldn't go meet up with a certain person or something similar, only to go against your intuition and then find out later why your intuition was moving you away from that. You see, your heart has access to information that your head does not. But your heart isn't going to justify or explain why it's giving you these answers. It'll just tell you to move towards something, away from something, and occasionally will tell you to stay still and be patient. For example, when you feel excitement or joy towards something, there's a reason for it. It's not a coincidence. When you get a bad feeling, perhaps a pit in your stomach, it's also with reason. It's not a coincidence. This 100% is a communication. So now that we have covered how the heart tends to communicate, there's one more thing I want to give you that's going to help you with all of this. So for some, even when they have all of this awareness of how the heart communicates and how we should have the heart leading the show, they still struggle to hear it. And this is simply because a lifetime of ignoring the heart has just caused it to become a little more quiet. But fear not, you can never completely sever your connection from the heart, and we just need to re-strengthen that connection. So first off, meditation is one of the best ways to rekindle and reconnect this divine connection. So it's not necessarily about quieting your mind, but simply just taking your focus off of your thoughts and your mind and not getting hooked in by them. Your mind may continue to chatter, but just make it your goal not to get hooked in or drawn in by it. You can just be the quiet observer. Now, a great way of meditating that I recommend and really love is called the HeartMath method. You can buy a sensor from the HeartMath Institute and it will actually give you real-time feedback on how connected to your heart you are as you're meditating. It also comes with an app that is going to help you with some guided meditations, teach you more about this method so you're connecting more with your heart. I'll leave that link down below if you want to find out more information. Of course, there are many different meditation techniques that you can try. So next is the philosophy of feel good now. The higher your vibration is, the more connected to what you truly are you will be. Now, this can take a bit of practice, especially if you've been conditioned to not feel so good most of the time. But the more you do activities that cause your heart to sing, to light up, the more connected you will feel and the more you'll be able to hear more clearly the communications of your heart. Another method I want to recommend to you is breath work. This is one of my personal favorite practices as it helps me to connect to what I truly am, release stagnant energy, ground me, among so many other great benefits. If you are new to breath work, a great place to start is looking up Wim Hof, where there are many different tutorials on how to get started with breath work. You can also join me in my monthly membership group called HeartPath, where I will be doing breathwork sessions, meditation sessions, and so much more. All of this, including tutorials to the Wim Hof method, will be linked down below. Ultimately, our heart is actually communicating with us 24/7, which means that God, the universe, source, or whatever symbol or label you want to call it, is in communication with us all of the time. It isn't about whether or not our heart is communicating with us. It is. It's about whether or not we are listening. So thank you so much for watching this video. All of the links I mentioned will be down below in the description if you want more information on some of the techniques and other things that I referred to in this video. Remember that you are loved. We live in a friendly universe, and I'll see you in the next one.